Good day, Professor and everyone. Today I would like to present my second part of the research assignment. But before, first of all, I would like to remind what was my research topic. It was about the educational technology and innovation. Now let's pass the question which by using which I continued my second part of the research assignment. It was how does the gap between management and sorry, teachers' values affect the implementation of educational technology in schools? For my data collection for this question, I used focus group as a teachers and school administrators or managers of the school. For data collection, I used online questionnaire with Google Forms. Why exactly Google Forms? Because to my mind, Google Forms is the easiest way to gather some data for both sides, for participants and for the organizer as well. And here down, I presented my questions that I used for questionnaire. So I just quickly will pass through these questions. Then in detailed form, we will look through the questions in further slides. So in total, I have just a few questions. First one, what's your role in the school? Next, how many years have you been in your current role? How familiar are you with using educational technology? How aligned are management and teachers' goals for educational technology? Are teachers involved in decisions about educational technology? What's the main barrier to successful implementation? And what would help improve collaboration between management and teachers? Now let's go through the data of percentages, all diagrams, and let's look into the questions deeper. In my questionnaire, only 7 participants participated because of the short time. And mostly, as we can see from the first question, what's your role in the school? I would like to know how many percentage of teachers or school administrators or managers passed my questionnaire. So as we see from the diagram down here, mostly teachers passed my questionnaire. It's like 71.4 percentage of teachers and 28.6% of school administrators. So majority of my participants are teachers. Now, next question was about how many years have you been in your current role? I thought that it will also help because we know if you have a little experience, you can answer questions not too much professional, actually, I think. So that's why it's important to have a little bit more practiced ones. So I'm happy about this because I have in the middle, like, I just have a less percentage of the workers who worked less than 1 year and more than 5 years. The most experienced ones was the same as the less than 1 year, so it's a less amount. But the most majority one was like from 1 to 5 years, which is also good. So it's like 71.4 percentage, which one is I think it's good. So I could reach experienced teachers or managers. And next question, how familiar are you with using educational technology? It actually helps to know, to recognize how much our workers in general, teachers and managers, are familiar with educational technologies. Because I face some teachers or some managers that no, they're not familiar with educational technology, and it's hard for them to improve it, you know. So that's why I asked. So no one was not familiar with that at all. So it's, I think it's a positive information for modern era, and a little bit less amount was very familiar, like they know how to use it, how um, they know how to exactly use it, right? But 57.1 percentage, they was a little bit familiar, but at the same time, like a little bit, they had some questions. They still need some trainings or improvement. So what it shows us as school administrators or managers needs to organize some trainings for teachers in order to get familiar with educational technology, or teachers themselves, they need to find some trainings, they need to pass some trainings in order to have some ideas and general information about educational technology. Not general, actually, detailed information. Let's pass to next question. How aligned are management and teachers' goals for educational technology? So here again, no answers for as misaligned ones. And 42.9 percentage rows very aligned, and 57.1 percentage somewhat aligned. So somewhat aligned means that they um, they know a little bit general stuff, but not detailed ones. But very aligned, they can do, they can know all details and the general idea as well. So, and it means that some managers try to align teachers um, in order to take some steps for education technology, but some managers doesn't. But I think it's a good to have discussions about improvement or goals with teachers as well. And to the next question, are teachers involved in decision about educational technology? As I said in previous one, they are sometimes involved to decisions on educational. As you see, sometimes as the mostly chosen part, but always is the less chosen part. So it means that not all schools or school managers are trying to involve teachers to decisions about educational technology for schools, but I think it needs to be mostly involved. Like teachers need to be mostly involved because not schools managers are teaching, right? Not schools managers are using that technology, but teachers will use them. Teachers will teach students, and teachers will benefit from that education technology, and teachers will use it. So that's why it's. I think it's important to have teachers' thoughts about that decisions as well. Next question, what's the main barrier to successful implementation of educational technology? Here I wrote three barriers as a lack of training, budget constraints, and misaligned goals. Happily, no misaligned goals answered. And the most answered one was budget constraints, and the less one was the lack of training. So here we can see that some schools or teachers are troubles with the budget constraints, like they don't have any budget or something happens. But the less amount they choose the lack of training, like they need some trainings, but mostly they need money to implement the educational technology. And the last question, and my questioner was, what would help improve collaboration between management and teachers. So I wrote here three answers: better communication, more teacher input, and joint training section. Well, here by more teacher input, I mean that teacher involvement to some kind of decisions or to some kind of discussions to involve teachers more, as I said before, for the decisions of the educational technology. So the mostly chosen ones were better communication and more teachers input, as we can see there at the same percentage, 42.9, 42.9. And the last one was chosen as the joint training sessions, 14.3 percentage. I think it's also the least important one, joint training sessions, but the most important one for my point of view, it's a better communication because if we can communicate in a good way, we can solve all problems. So communication is very important for team buildings and teamworks or just collaboration, I think. And more teacher input, it's also important because if you will have some discussions or decision making with the teachers, we will at least listen to teachers' thoughts. It can help the school and it can make teachers feel good that they can implement in the future of their school. Yeah. So in conclusion, I can tell that this questionnaire and these questions in my questionnaire they helped a lot to see the real need of managers and teachers in the implementation of educational technology or just for a collaboration, even in general. So I could say a lot, and I would like to continue my this research by doing more questionnaires or interviews in the future. And that's it for today's my second part of the research assignment presentation. Thank you for your attention and listening to me.